Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a little overview of a few things as we get started with reading Romeo and Juliet. First of all, you may notice here that I do have YouTube audios for all the different acts. So please use those. It is the original version, so it might be slightly different than what I gave you in the textbook printout, but still it's very similar and has should have all the information that you need. So that is definitely one resource, especially for more of my auditory learners. Second of all, just so you know where to kind of get your readings, I posted two different PDFs. There is the No Fear PDF. And if you take a look here, the No Fear PDF kind of gives you Shakespeare's original version, and then it will give you a kind of modern day translation underneath. And this is kind of just to help you because I'm not there in person, though feel free to email me. I'm here. And that kind of helps you out. Now, I honestly do not like this. This actually used to confuse me more, but some of you it might help. My suggestion to you, though, is that you try to kind of analyze and kind of make inferences about what you think the text means before you just look at that modern day translation. So here, let me kind of give you an example. Okay, as I scroll down, it does give you a character list, which is very nice. Okay, scrolling down a little bit more. So this, for instance, is the prologue, and this is the original version. Notice there's the line numbers that you need. It even shows at the bottom original text. When you do all of your homework, I want you to cite from the original text, because as you continue on your high school career, you're going to need to learn how to analyze Shakespeare's work. And the more you practice, the easier it's going to become, I promise. Now, what I would do is still always read the original text so you can get used to it. And then you can always check what you think it means after you take a moment to comprehend, and then check it with what's below, which is kind of the modern day summary of it. Okay, so this is, for instance, the prologue with the modern day summary. Okay, and it'll just keep doing that way. So again, original text, and it should say right at the bottom original, and then it'll show you as modern. Okay, again, this sometimes confused me more, but this might help some of you. Please, though, try to focus on interpreting it that way. Okay, but the version I'm going to show you, if you look at the PDF here, I actually found kind of like the printout. This version has the whole textbook unit, so you might have to scroll a little bit, but it's there. And then this has Act 1. But I wanted to kind of show you a couple of things just to help you get started on your reading. Okay, so first off, with our characters that we have at the beginning, I want to remind you, and some of you might have more background than others, and that's okay. So we've got two distinct families in Romeo and Juliet. We've got Romeo, who's a Montague, and to kind of help myself remember that, I think Romeo, that has that M in it, and then Montague. Okay, and so those are going to be, when we think of this, and I'll try to add this to a Quizlet, that's Romeo, Mercutio, Benvolio. Okay, those are some of the Montagues. Okay, then there is the Capulets, which are Juliet. So I think Juliet, Capulet, kind of almost, it rhymes there. So Juliet, Capulet. And so some of the characters in that are Samson, Gregory, are some that we're going to see. Tybalt is someone that's also Capulet. So again, I'll try to add these to the Quizlet, but just try to keep the characters straight the best you can. It will let you know usually what house each character is from, but again, keep that in mind. All right, so I have the audio for you, so I'm not going to read this whole thing aloud, but I did want to kind of give you some tips on how to understand this. So as we go here, you can take a look, and this is our prologue. And as you should have seen in your PowerPoint, we have the chorus here. Whenever we have the chorus, what is wonderful is that they're going to give us a summary of what's going to kind of happen. So we got a lot of key information here. So already it's letting us know too, right before the chorus enters, that this is in Verona, Mantua. So that's giving us the setting. Okay, and so here we have enter chorus, and I will read this and kind of just slow down and kind of show you how I translate it, just to kind of help you get started. Okay, so it says enter chorus. Two households, both alike in dignity, and fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge, break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventures piteous overthrows doth, with their death, bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's ends, naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, would here shall miss our toil, so strive to mend. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. And again, when you are analyzing Shakespeare, it's just takes time, okay? Be confident, because sometimes you kind of really do know what it's saying, but you're a little nervous because it takes some time to get it down. So let me show you. We'll kind of take a look at this. So it says 2 households, both alike in dignity. So again, as I told you, there was these 2 distinct families. The Montagues, that's what Romeo's a part of, and then the Capulets. They're 2 different households, and they're both alike in social class. So they're both from the similar class. I'd say they're higher middle class in their ranking. And again, this is in Verona, where we have our scene. So again, it's letting us know a little bit about our setting and exposition information. And it says, from ancient grudge, break to new mutiny. So we have an ancient grudge. These households have had conflict for a very long time. But there's also new mutiny and new problems, awful problems going on based on these grudges. Okay, so it's already letting us know that these families and their conflicts are going to be made worse. And it says, from forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes, so from the loins, the children of these 2 enemies, there's going to be a pair of star-crossed lovers. So if you remember from the PowerPoints, fate is an important concept with Shakespeare and Shakespearean tragedies. So it's going to let us know that we've got these lovers that were meant to meet and that are going to take their own life from these enemies. So again, we've had this concept of faith and we have misadventure. So we're going to kind of learn about what goes on with this. As we continue here too, it lets us know that this is a 2-hour play, and that if we, the audience, will be patient with our ears, we will learn about their toils and their problems and kind of see how they work to solve this. So again, a lot of information right here that's going to set our understanding for the whole play. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, but let me give you a little bit more information here. So here we've got Act 1, Scene 1. And it lets us know this is in Verona, a public place. And it's opening up with Samson and Gregory. Now, Samson and Gregory are part of the Capulet house. That's part of Juliet Capulet house. And they're kind of just hanging out here in town. And they see some servants of the Montague house. Now, if you remember, there is a conflict between the 2 houses. So when they see each other in public, it's probably not always going to be nice. But again, this is a land with laws and whatnot, so it's probably frowned upon to just break out in a whole fight. But I will read a little bit with you just so you can get the hang of it. So we've got Samson and Gregory, and I will try my best to do the voices. I tried to convince Mr. Miller to read this, but he was not having it. And there is an audio of this whole thing later on. I'm just getting you started. So we've got Samson. It goes, Gregory, on my word will not carry coals. So he's saying, Gregory, we're not going to carry insults from these Montagues that we see. And Gregory goes, no, for then we shall be colors. I mean, and we will be a color and we'll draw. So they're saying if we are angered and we feel like we're being dissed by the Montagues, then we're going to, start a conflict, because obviously we know that there's a conflict going on between our houses and we're just not going to stand for any disrespect. While you live, draw your neck out of your collar, and I strike quickly, being moved. But thou art not quickly moved to strike. So he's saying, I am ready to kind of attack if needed, but basically it says that there's really no need necessarily to do so. Samson says, a dog of the house of the Montague moves me. So again, there's somebody coming up from the other house, and just their presence there is moving them, these Capulets, to kind of start a conflict. To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou'st run away. A dog of the house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague. So basically, they are going to show that they're superior, and if they feel insulted at all by the Montagues, they're just going to start a fight, even if it's with a maid. Thou shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest go to the wall. 'Tis true, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are even thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall. This quarrels between our masters and us, their men. So Gregory is saying, hey, we shouldn't be attacking the other side's servants and people working from them. This conflict is between the families, not just their men. And Samson says, "'Tis all one, I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with their men, I will be cruel with the maids, and I will cut off their heads." Yeah, so Samson is basically saying, you know what, I don't care. I'm still going to be cruel, and anyone that's a Montague, I'm going to go after. The heads of maids? Aye, the heads of maids are the maiden heads. Take it with sense thou wilt. They must take it in sense, then feel it. Me they shall feel while I'm able to stand, and 'tis know I'm a pretty piece of flesh. 'Tis well thou art not a fish, if thou had been poor John. Draw thy tool, and here comes 2 of the house of Montagues. So here we've got 2 more people entering. And Samson goes, "My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, and I will back thee." So he has his knife out, and it's ready to attack. "How? Turn thy back and run? Fear me not. No, Mary, I fear thee. Let us take the law on our sides and let them begin." So here's the issue is they cannot just start a fight. If they're the ones who just start the fight, then they will get in trouble. So now they're going to try to convince the Capulet house, even though they're the ones being aggressive. They're going to try to convince the Montague house, even though the Capulets are the ones being aggressive, to start the fight. "I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as I list. Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it." "Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?" "I do bite my thumb, sir." "Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?" "Is the law on our side if I say aye?" "No." "No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb, sir." "Do you quarrel, sir?" "Quarrel, sir? No, sir. But if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as a good man as you. No better? Well, sir." So here they're going to kind of start a fight by basically, we've got Samson and Gregory, and they're biting their thumb, which is an insult, just a very nasty insult to do to someone that could start a fight. But they don't want to get in trouble, so they're kind of trying to get the other side angered so that they start the fight. Now, I'm going to stop reading for now because you will continue reading this as you go. Hopefully, this gives you just a few tips on how to analyze this. As you pay attention here, pay attention to these stage directions. Don't let like the thee and thou throw you off. Keep practicing that Quizlet, and that will help you out. As you work on your assignment, I've made a breakdown list that kind of helps you just backtrack and look at the words and see what's going on. Okay? The more that you do this, the easier that it will be. And I will keep recording videos, or you can always email me and we can Zoom on this. But again, this is just getting you started. Now you can continue reading with the audio. This is not the rest of the act. There's a little bit more because now we need to see what's going to happen. Are the Montagues going to fight back because they've been insulted and the Capulets are being pretty nasty, or are they going to let it go? Because again, they can get in trouble. All right, guys, that's my video for this week. Again, feel free to email me. I miss you all terribly. Fill me in on what you're doing. Feel free to ask questions. See you later.